Okay, Lucifer. Talked about bartering for control of one's soul. I haven't talked much about the dark secrets of control. Talked about the one God who really owns it all. Who really owns it all. And everything else is a counterfeit. But at the same time, I'm talking about the Hebrew God. I'm not talking about the tenets of contemporary religion. Because all of the contemporary religions, all of them, are just apparatchiks of divide and conquer. A lot of people with good intentions end up doing the wrong thing for the sake of their religion. And thus the road to hell is paved. I'm talking to you Christians out there, I'm talking to you Jews out there, I'm talking to the mullahs, I'm talking to you Hare Krishnas. Here it cracks me up that the Hare Krishnas out there, are all about as hippie as it gets. Krishna is a god of war. And in the past, the Krishnas have been some of the most brutal people on the face of the earth. And the hair's been twisted. These people have been gelded by some twisted belief, It makes me wonder if the Rothschilds aren't somehow behind that. But you're not going to find God in a building. You're going to find God in the confines of your own personal search. I've seen the love of the Creator greatest when I was out in the creation, not in the house of the false shepherd. You're out in the wilderness, you have your hands in the earth, you see Him smiling on you. You're living in a tent. He rejoices over you. When you're in the so-called house of God, you put yourself under the dark covering of the pillar of jealousy, as it's classified in the Bible. The pillar of jealousy. That'd be an obelisk, a phallic symbol. It really is a phallic symbol. It's like the prideful, arrogant middle finger thrusting its way into the heavens. Now you guys in Judaism, you don't really even look at the Torah much, do you? You're busy reading Mishnah, Pirkei Avot, got your Chumash, all steeped in Kabbalah. You guys are probably the most deluded people out there. And because you got a couple IQ points higher than most people, you delude yourselves into thinking that you're better than other people. Because you can count dollars and cents a little bit better than the people around you. I'm not faulting you. Such is the way. Anybody with a couple extra IQ points always considers themselves superior to those around him. That's a dangerous place. More dangerous than being under oppression. Because you become the oppressor. Zionism is not really Zionism. Zionism is the dark hand of Rothschild. Pushing the cheesy pieces on the chessboard. It's all a big joke, you know. It is. It's very cynical, and it can all seem rather convoluted and complex. It is really quite simple. Except that you haven't got enough information to make heads or tails of it. Once you just step back outside of the cubes of control and take a good, long, solid look at the whole of the Ponzi scheme, the multi-level marketing scheme. That's really all it is. People get upset about MLMs. I don't know why they get upset about MLMs. It's the pattern. It's just another name for the same pattern that's been perpetrated against people for thousands of years. Just look at any business model. You got one little guy on top. You got a board under that. You got upper management, middle management, lower management, and then you got a whole bunch of grunts. What is not pyramidal about that? So it works. The Hebrew God, because he's the only one who can take you outside of that and show you a good long look at what it is and how to remove yourself from it. Now you guys out there who think you've come into some truth and you did it without the Creator's help, you're even more deluded than the Kabbalists. No man is an isolated pillar. And if you have no foundation, topple and sink into the sand. The Hebrew God is that foundation. He is the foundation stone, and He is the capstone. Good luck deluding yourselves. None will survive these days without His grace. Whether you acknowledge that or not, I don't care. Why the Hebrew God? If you look at all of the languages, they all point to some origin. And if you spend enough time and go deep enough, you'll see that the origins are Semitic. And you will end up in an ancient paleo form of Hebrew, because the world was first spoken into existence through the Hebrew root forms. And you'll see that in the time of Nimrod, all the peoples were of one language. And it is referred to as Edenic Hebrew. And it did not originate with Adam Harishon. It originated from the Father of all, who spoke the world into being.